Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Kristina's baby survives C-section. See who gets custody. General Hospital, VHO spoilers reveal that Kristina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, and the baby she's carrying will remain in grave danger. At the end of the August 2 episode, Kristina's doctor offered some troubling updates on her condition and what was happening next. Kristina suffered multiple internal injuries due to her fall out of Ava Jerome's, Mora West, suite window and into the Metro Court pool. That led to severe hemorrhaging and sent Kristina into hypovolemic shock. The doctor also indicated that the baby was in fetal distress and explained that the placenta was separating from the uterus, which was dangerous since that was the baby's lifeline. As a result, Kristina was being taken to the OR for an emergency C-section, but it looks like things may take a terrible turn during the surgery. This C-section should play out in the August 5 episode, and by the time the August 6 episode rolls around, huge spoilers say Kristina's loved ones will need a miracle. We'll see Kristina's family do a lot of hoping and praying, but will it be for the baby, Kristina, or both? Time will tell, but there will be some good reasons to worry no matter how all this goes down. However, we want to focus for a moment on the possibility that Kristina's baby will survive this C-section. If the baby lives, then who gets custody? There's a chance Kristina could end up in a coma for a bit, which could lead to TJ Ashford, Taj Velo, fighting for legal proceedings to take the baby in the meantime. However, we should point out that Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bennard, will get a visit from Morgan Corinthos, Brian Craig, in the midst of all this Kristina drama. It'd be kind of weird to have Morgan appear without it building to that miracle Kristina so desperately needs. What good is a heavenly visitor if they don't grant a miracle or two? Of course, Morgan might just be inside Sonny's head, but it's also easy to imagine him popping in his sister's room to tell her it's not her time to go. Kristina might regain consciousness quickly, and if she does, she'll surely be more attached to the baby than ever. This scary ordeal might leave Kristina determined to keep her new son or daughter for herself, so TJ and Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vaganos, could suffer a major custody setback. Will Kristina and TJ eventually have to battle in court like TJ's been worried about? Molly may feel like an outsider if it comes to that since she won't be a biological parent with any kind of claim to the baby. General Hospital spoilers say Kristina's medical crisis will be a game-changer, so stay tuned for news on how things will turn out and predictions on any custody chaos. Kristina Corinthos Davis sat nervously in her hospital bed, her hand resting gently on her swollen belly. The past few months had been a whirlwind of emotions, from the shock of discovering her pregnancy to the tumultuous relationship with her baby's father, Parker. Now, as she faced an emergency C-section, her thoughts were a chaotic mix of fear, hope, and uncertainty. The room buzzed with activity as nurses and doctors prepared for the surgery. Her mother, Alexis, stood by her side, offering words of encouragement and squeezing her hand tightly. Despite their rocky past, Alexis had been a rock for Kristina throughout her pregnancy, providing unwavering support and love. "You're going to be okay, sweetie," Alexis whispered, brushing a strand of hair from Kristina's forehead. "And so is your baby. You're both fighters." Kristina nodded, trying to steady her racing heart. She looked around the room, her eyes landing on her father, Sonny Corinthos, who was standing near the doorway, his expression a mix of worry and determination. Sonny had always been protective of his children, and the thought of Kristina facing such a serious procedure was almost too much for him to bear. "Dad," Kristina called softly, beckoning him closer. Sonny moved to her side, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "I'm here, Kristina. We're all here for you." You've got this." As the anesthesiologist began to administer the epidural, Kristina's thoughts drifted to Parker. Their relationship had been anything but easy, marked by misunderstandings and challenges. Parker had struggled with the idea of becoming a parent, and their on-again, off-again romance had left Kristina feeling vulnerable and unsure about the future. But now, as she faced the biggest challenge of her life, Kristina knew she had to focus on the well-being of her child. The medical team worked quickly and efficiently, and within moments, Kristina felt a strange sense of detachment as the anesthesia took effect. The surgical drape was raised, blocking her view of the procedure, but she could feel the pressure and tugging as the doctors worked to bring her baby into the world. Minutes passed, each one feeling like an eternity. Then a tiny plaintive cry filled the room, and Kristina's heart soared. Her baby was alive. Tears streamed down her cheeks as the nurse brought the newborn over for her to see. The baby's eyes were closed, its tiny fists clenched, and a shock of dark hair covered its head. "It's a girl," the nurse announced, smiling as she placed the baby in Kristina's arms. "Congratulations." Kristina gazed at her daughter, overwhelmed with love and relief. "Hi, little one," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "Welcome to the world." The next few days were a blur of recovery and bonding. Kristina spent hours holding her baby, marveling at the tiny miracle she had brought into the world. She named her daughter Grace, a nod to the strength and resilience she hoped to instill in her. As Kristina's strength returned, so did the questions about Grace's future. Parker had been conspicuously absent since the birth, and Kristina knew she needed to make some tough decisions about custody. She wanted what was best for her daughter, but she also wanted to give Parker a chance to be part of Grace's life if she was willing to step up. One evening, as Kristina was feeding Grace in her hospital room, the door opened and Parker walked in. Her expression was a mix of apprehension and determination, and Kristina's heart skipped a beat. "Hi, Kristina," Parker said softly, her eyes fixed on the baby in Kristina's arms. "Can we talk?" Kristina nodded, gesturing for Parker to sit. "Of course, we need to figure this out." Parker took a deep breath, her eyes filled with emotion. "I know I haven't been there for you, and I'm so sorry. I've been scared and confused, but seeing Grace, I want to be part of her life, Kristina. I want to be a good parent." Kristina studied Parker's face, searching for sincerity. "It's not going to be easy, Parker. We have a lot to work through. But if you're serious about being there for Grace, then I'm willing to try." The two women talked late into the night, discussing their hopes and fears and outlining a plan for co-parenting. It wouldn't be simple, and there were bound to be challenges, but for the sake of their daughter, they were both committed to making it work. Over the next few weeks, as Kristina and Grace settled into their new routine at home, they were surrounded by family and friends who offered support and love. Sonny and Alexis were particularly doting grandparents, and Kristina couldn't have been more grateful for their presence in her life. One afternoon, as Kristina was rocking Grace to sleep, her phone buzzed with a message from Parker. It was a picture of a crib Parker had set up in her apartment, along with a heartfelt note about how excited she was to have Grace spend her first night there.